What if I told you that the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and building generational wealth isn't luck, connections, or even starting capital? The world's most successful billionaires share 10 specific mindsets and strategies that anyone can learn and apply. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what separates the ultra-wealthy from everyone else, and more importantly, how you can start implementing these lessons today. From garage startups to global empires, billionaires didn't just stumble into success. They followed specific principles that compound over time. Today, we're diving deep into the minds of icons like Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and others to extract the exact strategies they use to build their fortunes. These aren't just business tips. They're life philosophies that can transform how you think about money, opportunity, and success. Lesson 1. Think in decades, not quarters. Warren Buffett's long-term vision. Warren Buffett once said, "Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." While most people obsess over quick wins and instant gratification, Buffett built his $100+ billion fortune by thinking decades ahead. When Buffett bought Coca-Cola stock in 1988, people called him crazy. The market was volatile, and critics said he was overpaying. But Buffett wasn't thinking about the next quarter or even the next year. He was thinking about the next 30 years. Today, that investment has returned over 1,600%. The lesson: stop chasing get-rich-quick schemes. Start asking yourself, where do I want to be in 20 years, and what small actions can I take today to get there? Whether it's learning a skill, building relationships, or investing money, compound growth only works when you give it time. Action step: write down one goal you want to achieve in the next decade. Now, identify one small action you can take this week to move toward it. Lesson 2. Embrace failure as education. Elon Musk's resilience philosophy. Elon Musk has failed more spectacularly than most people have ever tried. SpaceX's first 3 rocket launches exploded. Tesla was on the brink of bankruptcy multiple times. He was ousted as CEO of PayPal. Yet today, he's worth over $200 billion. Musk doesn't see failure as the opposite of success. He sees it as the price of admission. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough, he says. Each failure taught him something crucial that success never could. When SpaceX's rockets kept exploding, instead of giving up, Musk studied every piece of debris, every line of code, every decision that led to the failure. Each explosion brought him closer to the breakthrough that would eventually make SpaceX the world's leading space company. The lesson: failure isn't something to avoid. It's something to harvest for wisdom. The fastest way to learn is to fail fast, learn faster, and iterate. Action step: think of a recent failure or setback. Write down 3 specific lessons you learned from it and how you can apply those lessons moving forward. Lesson 3. Obsess over customer value, not profit. Jeff Bezos' customer-first mentality. When Jeff Bezos started Amazon in 1994, he had a radical philosophy. We're not competitor-obsessed, we're customer-obsessed. While other companies focused on beating their competition, Bezos focused obsessively on making customers so happy they'd never want to shop anywhere else. In Amazon's early days, Bezos personally drove packages to the post office and packed books on the floor of his garage. He wasn't thinking about profit margins. He was thinking about customer experience. Amazon didn't turn a profit for 7 years, but Bezos knew that if he could create unprecedented customer value, the money would follow. This obsession led to innovations like one-click ordering, Prime membership, and same-day delivery. Features that seemed impossible but became industry standards. The lesson: stop asking, how can I make money? And start asking, how can I create so much value that people will gladly pay me for it? When you solve real problems for real people, profit becomes inevitable. Action step: identify one way you can add more value in your current role, business, or relationships this week. Focus on giving first, receiving second. Lesson 4. Master the art of saying no. Steve Jobs' focus philosophy. Steve Jobs believed that focus meant saying no to 1,000 good ideas to say yes to the few great ones. When he returned to Apple in 1997, The company had dozens of products and was near bankruptcy. His first move? He eliminated 70% of Apple's product line. People think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to 100 other good ideas. Jobs explained. This ruthless focus allowed Apple to pour all its resources into perfecting a few revolutionary products. The iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad. Each became a category-defining success because Apple wasn't spreading itself thin across dozens of mediocre products. The lesson: your attention is your most valuable resource. Protect it fiercely. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that could be life-changing. Action step: list everything you're currently working on. Circle the top 3 that align with your most important goals. Consider eliminating or delegating the rest. Lesson 5. Invest in continuous learning. Bill Gates' knowledge compound interest. Bill Gates reads 50 books per year. That's almost 1 book per week, every week for decades. He doesn't do this for entertainment. He does it because he understands that knowledge compounds just like money. Gates dedicates 2 think weeks per year where he goes into isolation with nothing but books, research papers, and big ideas. These sessions have led to some of Microsoft's biggest strategic decisions and his philanthropic breakthroughs in global health. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years, Gates says. The same principle applies to learning. 1 book might not change your life, but 500 books over 10 years will transform how you see the world. The lesson: your earning potential is directly tied to your learning potential. The more you know, the more opportunities you'll recognize and the better decisions you'll make. Action step: commit to reading or learning something new for just 30 minutes every day. In 1 year, you'll have gained over 180 hours of knowledge, equivalent to a month of full-time learning. Lesson 6. Build systems, not just goals. Ray Dalio's principles-based approach. Ray Dalio built Bridgewater Associates into the world's largest hedge fund by creating systems and principles instead of just setting goals. While most investors rely on gut feelings and hunches, Dalio created detailed principles for every decision. He documented over 200 principles covering everything from investment decisions to hiring practices. These principles became the operating system for his entire organization, allowing it to make consistent, high-quality decisions even when Dalio wasn't directly involved. He who lives by the crystal ball will eat shattered glass, Dalio warns. Instead of trying to predict the unpredictable, he built systems that could adapt to any situation. The lesson: goals tell you what you want, but systems tell you how to get there. Focus on building repeatable processes that move you toward your objectives, regardless of external circumstances. Action step: choose one important area of your life and create a simple system or routine that will automatically move you forward, even when motivation is low. Lesson 7. Leverage other people's expertise. Richard Branson's Delegation Mastery. Richard Branson, dyslexic, struggles with numbers and admits he's not the smartest person in most rooms. Yet he's built a business empire spanning airlines, space travel, and hundreds of other ventures. His secret? He's a master at finding people who are smarter than him and empowering them to succeed. I've never gone into business to make money. I've gone into business to have fun, and the money has followed, Branson says. But his definition of fun includes surrounding himself with brilliant people and giving them the freedom to innovate. Branson doesn't try to be an expert at everything. Instead, he focuses on what he does best: vision, culture, and inspiration, and hires experts for everything else. The lesson: you don't need to know everything. You need to know the right people who know what you don't know. Success is a team sport. Action step: identify one skill or area where you're spending too much time despite not being particularly good at it. Find someone who can do it better and delegate or outsource it. Lesson 8. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Oprah Winfrey's transformation mindset. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty, faced abuse, and was told she was unfit for television news. Instead of letting these obstacles define her limitations, she transformed them into her greatest strengths. Her difficult childhood gave her empathy that resonated with millions. Being rejected from traditional news led her to create a new format of television that became more influential than any news program. Every setback became a setup for a comeback. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. Oprah believes. She didn't just overcome obstacles, she alchemized them into gold. The lesson: obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're raw materials. The same challenges that crush some people forge others into diamonds. Action step: identify your biggest current challenge. Write down 3 potential opportunities or strengths that could emerge from navigating this challenge successfully. Lesson 9: scale your impact, not just your income. Mark Zuckerberg's network effect thinking. When Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook, he wasn't thinking about making money from 100 users. He was thinking about connecting billions of people. This shift from individual transactions to network effects allowed Facebook to become worth hundreds of billions. Zuckerberg understood that in the digital age, value comes from connections, not just products. Each new user made the platform more valuable for every existing user, creating a virtuous cycle of growth. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks, Zuckerberg explains. The lesson: stop thinking about linear growth and start thinking about exponential impact. How can you create value that grows with each additional person you serve? Action step: brainstorm one way you could create value that becomes more valuable as more people participate or benefit from it. Lesson 10: give before you receive. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates's philanthropy philosophy. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have committed to giving away 99% of their wealth through the Giving Pledge. But their generosity didn't start after they became billionaires. It started long before. Gates was volunteering and teaching computer skills to other students while still in high school. Buffett was sharing investment wisdom freely decades before he became wealthy. They understood that giving creates abundance, not scarcity. The more you give away, the more comes back to you, Buffett observes. This isn't just feel-good philosophy, it's practical wisdom. Generosity builds relationships, reputation, and opportunities that compound over time. The lesson: abundance flows to those who share freely. Give your knowledge, time, connections, and resources generously, and watch how the universe responds. Action step: find one way to help someone else succeed this week, with no expectation of direct return. Pay attention to how this act of generosity affects your own opportunities and relationships. These 10 lessons aren't just about building wealth. They're about building a life of purpose, impact, and fulfillment. The billionaires we've studied didn't just accumulate money. They accumulated wisdom, relationships, and influence that allowed them to change the world. The most powerful part? You don't need billions to start applying these principles. You can begin thinking long-term today. You can embrace your next failure as education tomorrow. You can start obsessing over customer value, building systems, and giving generously right now. Remember, these billionaires weren't born with special advantages. They developed special mindsets. Your current circumstances don't determine your future potential. Your consistent actions and principles do. Which of these 10 lessons resonates most with you? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights from the world's most successful people. Your future self will thank you for the wisdom you gained today. Remember to like this video if it provides value, and share it with someone who needs to hear these lessons. Success is better when shared.